At this point, I'd like to introduce you to Mirocam capsule endoscope procedure. First, it would be advisable to notify the patient subject to the capsule endoscopy of the following before endoscopy. Please discontinue taking any iron supplements for a week before endoscopy, and also stop taking any medicine dosages for 2 hours prior to endoscopy. If you are diabetic, you should consult with your doctor to control insulin dosage. In addition, for 12 hours before endoscopy, you must refrain from smoking and do not consume any food or drinks other than water. 12 hours before endoscopy, you need to take sodium phosphate or PEG solution agent and then defoaming agent. Lastly, ensure that you wear comfortable clothes that are not overly tight, and if you are female, refrain from wearing attire such as one-piece dresses. Please start by preparing the receiver for capsule endoscopy. Turn on the computer power, and the MyroView server program will automatically run along with the Windows booting. Execute the MyroView operator program and log in as a user. Connect the receiver to the computer by USB cable. Make sure to turn on the power of the receiver before connecting. Click the receiver button at the top left of the MyroView operator screen and click the Initialize button at the top right to initialize the receiver. At this moment, make sure to check the MyroView operator list and the patient list to check that data for the receiver are uploaded. If not on the list, upload before proceeding. After initializing, enter information for the patient subject to capsule endoscopy. Patient information entry fields with asterisks need to be filled out. If any of the asterisked items are not entered, the patient information won't be saved. Find the production serial number at the rear side of the capsule package and enter it as the capsule serial number. After all of the patient information is entered, you can then click the Save button to save the patient information in the receiver. Turn off the power of the receiver and remove the USB cable from the receiver. Be sure to mount fully charged batteries into the receiver, and the receiver preparation prior to endoscopy is now complete. Next, how to attach sensor pads. First, briefly explain body locations where sensor pads will be attached to the patient. Tear the sensor pad package envelope and take out 10 sensor pads. Numbers are marked on the data cables and sensor pads. Connect each data cable and sensor pad in the same number from red number 1 to black number R. Adhere each sensor pad connected with the data cable on the patient's body in the order as follows. Adhere number 1 in the middle between the sophisternum at the right flank and the navel. The number 2 on the right clavicle center should be under the sophisternum. Number 3 on the left clavicle center should be under the sophisternum. Number 4 should be in the middle between the sophisternum at the left flank and the navel. Number 5 on the point should be under the right pelvis, about 2 centimeters away from the number 1 sensor pad. Number 6 on the point at the right groin center should be about 2 centimeters away from the number 2 sensor pad. Number 7 on the point at the groin center should be about 2 centimeters away from the number 3 sensor pad. Number 8 on the point under the left pelvis should be about 2 centimeters away from the number 4 sensor pad. Lastly, number R on the point should be under the right clavicle. Each sensor pad should be adhered to the correct position and connected to the correctly numbered data cable as well. If the data belt in the abdominal binder shape is used instead of sensor pads, it will be a lot easier to adhere. Next, let's connect the receiver. After all of the sensor pads are adhered, raise the patient to a sitting position and connect the data cables to the receiver. Turn on the receiver power and make sure to check the light on the top of the receiver with a sound. When the SIG signal is in orange and the INI and BAT signals in green, you will know then that it is operating correctly. If the INI signal is in orange, initialize the receiver again. And if the BAT signal is in orange, replace batteries with fully charged ones. Now, I'd like to explain the step when the patient swallows up the capsule. First, tear the capsule packing and take the capsule out while holding the capsule handle. At this moment, check that the LED at the capsule front blinks. Let the patient hold the golden part of the capsule with both hands and check that the capsule and the receiver operate correctly. Check that the SIG signal of the receiver turns into green with a sound. Allow the patient to swallow the capsule with water. Put the receiver in the receiver bag. Help the patient to wear it in a way that allows him or her to move around comfortably. Place the data cables in the cable bag neatly as to not become tangled. When all of the steps are done, advise the patient of the following precautions during the capsule endoscopy. Do not consume any food or drinks other than water for 2 hours after swallowing the capsule. Eat porridge after 4 hours. From this moment on, you are allowed to take medication. You are allowed to perform daily activities such as walking, sitting, lying, and driving. However, do not perform any exercise or lift any heavy objects. You are allowed to use the computer, the radio, and cell phone. However, do not approach near the magnetic resonance imaging lab or the radio transmission tower, and do not use an electric pad or electric blanket. Do not approach near other patients while under the capsule endoscopy. Do not touch or remove the receiver, data cables, and sensor pads you are wearing. It is acceptable to wear the receiver bag loosely, but do not take it off completely. Remove the system after 12 hours from the time that the capsule was swallowed. When the Wi-Fi function of the receiver is used, you are able to use the real-time viewer app on the iPhone or the iPad. First, press the Wi-Fi button on the receiver. Check that the receiver is connected to the iPhone or the iPad. Execute the real-time viewer app on the iPhone or the iPad. Check the current capsule location from the real-time viewer app. Now, let me introduce how to upload images after endoscopy, which is the last step of MirrorCam endoscopy. After 12 hours, when the receiver is turned off, the patient returns to the hospital and returns the receiver. The next steps are to connect the returned receiver to the computer, to upload images from it, and to diagnose images. Take the receiver out of the receiver bag, disconnect data cables from the receiver, and connect the batteries to the charger to charge. When fully charged, the charger indicator turns into green. If it is in orange, return the batteries to the charger again. It takes about 4 hours to fully charge the batteries. Turn on the computer power, execute the MyroView operator program, and log in as a user. Connect the receiver to the computer by USB cable. At this moment, make sure to turn on the receiver power. Press the receiver button on the top right of the MyroView operator screen and press the upload button to upload images. Wait until the uploaded message appears. Once uploaded, the MyroView server program automatically analyzes images for prompt image diagnosis. This concludes the explanation of the procedure for the advanced MirrorCam capsule endoscopy, which allows for fast and precise small intestine endoscopy.